Hello, this should now be live. And I'm just gonna check if it actually is on the web page, and I won't start talking until I actually see my face talking. But till then, I wanted to show you blah, blah, blah. I wanted to show you, okay, it actually works, nice. So I wanted to show you this video, which is from Baby Vogue. And it's Baby Vogue trying to convince me to actually join Kd, and it's so nice, like, and we need to watch it.
Hello, Nicola, and welcome to Gnome Universe. I know you're not gonna stay.
Oh, sorry about that, but you know, I've worked on Kd Plasma for so much time, and
If you don't want to betray your friends in Plasma.
it's not really about betraying my friends at Plasma. I think they would understand, but the point here is that I do like Plasma a lot, and I think it has lots of valid ideas, and overall probably Plasma fits me better than Gnome, which is not a Gnome issue, it's just who I am, and that's why I keep working on Plasma, really.
But hear me out first, please.
Go ahead.
In Gnome you will make more and better friends.
Now, I'm sure that if I joined GNOME, I would have lots of cool friends at GNOME, but really it's not about friends. And I think the GNOME project is cool too, but I like Plasma, so that's what I'm going to develop for.
You will meet Chino, baby. And Gnome with its cute graphics will perfectly fit all your needs and make you more productive and happier than ever. But most important of all, you can contribute in Gnome and make community software so much stronger.
I can also contribute in Plasma and make the community software so much stronger, so that's not really a point.
Because deep inside you, you should have this feeling that every time you contribute to KD, you also promoting the Qt company
That's so untrue, like, it's not true.
too. So for every single good you do, you also do an equal evil.
This portraying the Qt company as the evil, and the fact that everything that actually gets implemented to KD actually benefits Qt, it's so false. That's not how it works. Sorry.
I promise you will never face such moral challenges in Gnome. We are 100% pure community and had waited as
It's good that it's a pure community. That's the best part of it. By the way, notice that all of the backgrounds are from Ghibli movie. That's because I love Ghibli movies, and
moral challenges.
Baby Vogue knows
We are
that.
100% pure community and we never use Ubuntu.
Look, Ubuntu was pre-installed on my computer. I didn't choose it, it was just there. So let's get back into comments, and you can ask me anything really, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. As always, I'm no expert of everything, so I can try my best still. What do you think? What do you think of GNOME's top bar and its wasted potential, since it has a lot of unused space? Okay, let's talk about it. So, the top bar, which you should be seeing. So, we've got the system tray, which is nice. It's there, it makes what it's supposed to do. Of course, I prefer the Plasma system tray, but this one just works, and with the changes from extensions, it works for me now. So then there is this space, which is reserved for like these icons, which are extensions, and more often than not, extensions do add their own icon, so it does make sense to have this space empty. Then there is the center notifications and clock, which makes sense. The only really wasted space in here is that this could fit the global menu. And I wouldn't be against using a global menu here, but I do understand that GNOME's philosophy is not really aligned with that. And also to implement, it's a bit of a mess, because all applications have their own global menus, and not always you can fetch them and display them here. So I don't think that it's that much of a wasted space. I would not expect like a task manager to be inside of it, but still, it's also not very big. Like, it's what's that, like 20 pixels, 25 top? That's not much really. Plasma is double that size, so I don't think it is wasted space at all. So describe your breakfast. I don't do much breakfast, like usually it's a couple of cookies and that's about it. I'm not a breakfast person, and there's usually not much breakfast in my house. Do you use Kdevelop? Is it still being developed? So as far as I know, Kdevelop is being developed, but I don't use it. I actually use Kate because I think that Kate just fits my need, and I don't see the reason to switch to more complex application for the needs that are as simple as mine is. Is that Wayland? No, it's actually X, but it's because I'm recording. I haven't yet installed Pipewire to actually record on Wayland, but I will do that. I usually use Wayland on my daily drive. It's not that different from a Plasma panel. Yeah, on the Plasma panel, you've got a couple of things more. You've got the favorite apps and the task manager, and the show desktop buttons. And I understand that living without them might be a bit weird, but in GNOME, that's what the workflow is like. So it does make sense. Do you use fractional scaling on your laptop? No, my eyes are good enough to have a 1:1 display ratio. Is that a real window? What, the chat? Yes, it's actually a real window. I can move it around. Is it possible to configure Kate for web development, like having VS Code IntelliSense? I don't know what IntelliSense is, sorry. There is something you can do for Kate to do some web development. There is LSP, or I don't know, of course, code highlight, but also you can have a preview if you're editing an HTML file. Usually when I work on web pages, I just have the web page in Chrome and then decoding Kate, but that's because I do simple stuff. Again, that's why I'm using Kate, because I do simple stuff. How is your experience with Nautilus? It's okay, it's a bit simple for me. Sorry. And sometimes I wish it did a bit more, but it looks nice. The sidebar is always of good size. Dolphin always gets the sidebar size wrong. It's a bit simple for my needs, though. I do kind of prefer Dolphin in that regard, but it does look nice. IntelliSense is the auto-suggestion and code highlight component of Visual Studio. Okay, that makes sense. And code highlight is there, that's for sure. Auto-suggesting, there is some auto-suggesting by default. Your mileage may vary on how good that actually is, but you should try it out. Kate is not that bad at all, so. What's your opinion on GNOME theming? So I disagree personally with the idea that apps shouldn't be themed and that there should be like a central hard-coded, we could even say, theme. And usually when you talk about GNOME developers about theming, it seems like theming is something that, I don't know, the distribution should do, like Pop! OS should have their own theme, and that makes sense, but users themselves shouldn't care that much about it. I personally disagree, that's my personal opinion. I prefer the idea of Plasma theming, and I do think that in Plasma, in KDE in general, we do theming extremely well, because something like the Plasma style works really nicely, and it's very rare to have visual bugs, even if you're using third-party themes. So I do think that it's possible to have themes that don't break apps, and if you don't agree with theming because it breaks up, then you're doing theming wrong. That's my personal take. I know that probably GNOME disagrees with him for the most part, but. What's your opinion on Flatpak? Do you consider Flatpaks the future of Linux? I don't know. That's something that we have to wait and see, really, especially for the competitor, Snaps. So I kind of like the idea of Flatpaks. I usually don't use them much, and I'm slightly worried about how much they deliver of what they say currently, because I don't know, apps weren't really designed with the concept of permissions as an example in mind. If you have an application that requires your home directory as a permission, you're not doing much sandboxing, but it's still an improvement compared to before. So it is interesting. but I'm not an expert, and I do see that it has some issues for now, so we have to wait and see, really. Is there a tool for making Plasma icon packs? Inkscape. Sorry. Do you feel like GNOME should be more Windows-like for users coming from Windows because it's not customizable? No, I disagree. Because I understand the idea of trying to be accommodating to new users that aren't used to your workflow. But if that compromises your idea of the workflow, then you shouldn't do it, because what you're trying to do is not a copy of Windows, is your own product. And that's the most important thing. So what GNOME does, I think, smartly, is when you first log in, it gives you a couple of tips on how to actually use GNOME. And that's very smart. And I think that's where the user should be told about the differences in workflow. But trying to be Windows because Windows users only know Windows, we should avoid that if it undermines our concept of the desktop. The idea of themes in GNOME is broken. The themes are based on changing a CSS file. Even in web development, this is not a good thing. It is a good thing that GNOME doesn't support it. CSS is not necessarily a bad idea to use themes, and actually Kde is kind of moving into that direction. Maybe not CSS, but I wouldn't be surprised if future Kde themes were in CSS. And CSS really it's not necessarily bad, especially for things like themes. It's not the best tool either, in my opinion, but I don't think that's where the issues are in GNOME's theming system. How does GNOME handle rounded corners in apps? What are your thoughts on the now legendary corners bug? Thank for all you do. Okay, the corners bug appears on each live stream. Okay, how does GNOME handle round corners in apps? Actually, implementing round corners in apps, it's not that difficult. The issue with the legendary corners bug is that sometimes decoration or third-party scripts force Blur to be behind windows when you have even opaque decorations. And what that means is that the blur effect, which GNOME, as far as I know, doesn't have or doesn't use, behind Windows at least, the blur behind Windows doesn't actually know about the geometry of the window, and so it doesn't actually have a mask to avoid blurring also the edges. So that happens because the blur cannot know about the mask of the decoration. Apart from that, it's really easy to implement rounded windows. There's already like third-party plugins for Plasma that do it. Of course, you should then try to force blur behind windows with rounded corners, because the blur doesn't know about the rounded corners. You a Baby Vogwe fan? No, I'm not a Baby Vogwe fan, because I don't think that Baby Vogwe handles correctly the way that he criticizes projects, especially Kde. Now, Kde developers in general are very fed up with the way that Baby Vogwe really criticizes Kde. Not because he does, it's very legit to criticize Kde, but it has to be constructive criticism, and Baby Vogwe's criticism isn't. So if there's something wrong, you should say, okay, I noticed this thing. In my opinion, this thing is wrong and it could be improved that way. As it is now, it might be an issue because of X. Whereas Baby Vogwe is much more, I don't know, it takes things lightly, not seriously, and in doing that, it easily offends developers. That's the issue. Your opinion on Kdconnect? Now, Kdconnect hasn't... Now, let me start by saying that Kde has actually a working group which is all dedicated to actually working with the Kdconnect and to have good relationships. And right now, there is no reason to think that in a short time frame, there will be major issues. If they were, like if Qt decided to stop publishing their code as open source. Well, keep in mind that all of the code that was already open source won't like disappear. That's impossible. And also, you can also take old code and fork it. Don't think that Kd wouldn't be able to maintain a fork of Qt's code, because, well, we do already have many patches that are applied to Qt, and since they're merged in Qt6, there are some patches that are manually patched for Qt5 until Plasma 6 comes. Right now, the situation with Qt is good, really. There's no big issue, and it is a good framework, honestly, to use. And if issues were to appear, then we can always fork. Really, I don't see why you're making this seem bigger than it is. What's your opinion about gestures in Plasma Desktop? What do you mean? I mean, I want gestures on Plasma Desktop. That's my opinion. That's everybody's opinion. Everybody wants to have gestures. It's just having to wait for somebody to actually implement them. Let me see, blah, blah, blah. Have you heard of Audi? Yes, I've used it for a lot of time, actually. The facial recognition login program. I haven't been able to get it working on Kd. I did. I used it for a good year, and after a year, I decided it wasn't worth it. Because yes, it's cool to log in with your face, but it's not that faster at all, and also SDDM is not ready for this kind of logins. It would work better on GNOME. So if you want to use Audi, you probably also want to use at least GDM. Yeah. Hi Nicolo, I've been using Linux as my main desktop for about 1 year and would like to start contributing to desktop Linux. I have some experience with C++ and Python. How to start on Qt development? You should go fetch I can just show you. Kd.org has this link, get involved, and then you click on development, and then you go into this page, and there's lots and lots of stuff on how to set up your developer environment, test changes, build apps. Qt is not too difficult if you know Python and C++ already. There are some resources about QML, like there's a handbook about QML, but in general, to get started, this is the best way to. I believe that constructive criticism needs to coexist with non-constructive criticism. Light cannot exist without dark. Okay, I guess. I disagree. I don't see why one shouldn't be able to express their criticism properly and in an educated way. I mean, you can be a nice person without people necessarily being mean, because you can say there wouldn't be such a thing like good persons if bad persons didn't exist either, but that isn't an excuse for being a bad person. Let me see. Have you used the Wallpaper engine plugin for Kde? Can this happen for GNOME and other desktops? The Wallpaper engine plugin, which one you're talking about? I know many Wallpaper plugins. In general, I don't think that GNOME is going in the direction of adding more support for Wallpaper plugins, but as far as Kdes go, yeah. Can you make a video about a Kd developer try how to develop apps for GNOME? If I manage to, yeah. It's all about time. If I have enough time to do it, I would. Does Valve contribute to Plasma development since the Steam Deck uses it by default? As far as I know, yeah. They hired... Okay, this is a difficult story to address, but yeah, as far as I know, yeah. Let's stop there. I'm not super Expert. Let's see some messages that I lost in the way. But on Plasma, you can resize panels and bars. Yeah, but it won't get as small as the GNOME bar. It won't go 120 pixels. Like, it doesn't make sense to do that. So GNOME bar is as small as it can get, really. If you have the time, you should give NixOS a go. The packaging, there's a bug in the packaging management is phenomenon. I don't know. There's like everybody saying that they got packaging right, but we'll see. If I have the time. Interesting. Feature request. Can we have an emergency mode for Plasma? Last day I added the event calendar widget to my desktop and it made it go into a crash loop. Okay, there is an emergency mode for Plasma. If it crashes, in theory it should restart, and maybe not Plasma, but Kwin for sure. If it crashes more than n times consecutively, it stops compositing. If something breaks, it's very hard. Like, you can try to restart apps, but if it's broken, and it's a bit difficult. Like, such an emergency mode, it would be difficult to have such a thing if everything is broken, like Plasma crashes and stuff. So I don't know. There is something like that already, but it's just something. How is the PinePhone Pro? I haven't had the time to try it out yet. I will, but again, it's all about time. I know that Valve is using another WM instead of Kwin. It would be cool to see an upstream collab. What WM is it using? Can you send me a link about that? It's interesting. What is it? Queen FT, I guess? I don't know. Oh, come on, there's not enough questions. Ask something. I don't get enough messages. I know I lost some, but getting back to them. What happened to floating applets merge request? I read that you cancelled it due to bugs. No, I didn't. The floating applets merge request will eventually come. I just need the time, again, to finish it off. Like, right now, my mind is, I need to finish off the rewrite of Plasma panels. Then I need to finish off the merge request for floating panels. And then I need to finish off floating applets. That's my... I'm also considering starting a little new project, but I can't tell what that is before, it's actually ready. Hi, is there a plan to redesign the Discover user interface? Yes, there is. There are many mockups in the visual design group, so you can check them out. I think they're somewhere. I don't know where, but yes, we've got mockups, we've got good intentions, and hopefully. Do you have any pets? If so, what the name? Okay, so I have 2 pets, a dog and a cat. I'm not into pets. I don't like pets, but my brothers do. So one is called Micho. The other is called Irene. Yeah, but I don't like them. Sorry. Have you considered using Fedora to get the vanilla GNOME experience? No, and that's because I wanted to try out the operating system that my computer was shipped with. This used Ubuntu, and so I am using Ubuntu. And secondly, I don't think that using a customized GNOME is a big issue if you can get into the extensions list and just disable the one that you don't like. You get vanilla GNOME anyway. So yeah. I'm not against Fedora, to be clear. I just used whatever was installed already. Is there any project about making Plasma backups? You should check out Plasma Config Saver. I'm guessing you're talking about configuration. If it's about backups, like the whole data you have, all the files, there is a project about that somewhere, which is Kbackup apparently, or cap maybe. Something like this. There either this or Plasma Config Saver, depending on what you meant. Would you start contributing to GNOME too? I don't think so, but who knows? I think I'll just keep working on KDE. I have little enough time already to like start another project. I would want to contribute to KDE too if I had the time. That's for sure. Where would the Discover Redesign mockups be found? You should go into the VDG chat and search for Discover mockup, stuff like that. It's somewhere. I don't remember, sorry. Have you ever tried Arc? Yes, I've used it for a good year, but then I decided that Ubuntu was as good as I needed it to be, so yeah. Which GNOME feature should be on KDE and vice versa? The GNOME feature I would pick, of course, are gestures for Touchpad. That's for sure. The one feature KDE Plasma has for GNOME, let me think, that it should have. Tough one. I'm gonna go with something simple, which is a better system tray. I think that the system tray of GNOME by default is a bit lacking, but there are plans to redesign it. And there are also plans to bring gestures on KDE Plasma. So there's this work going both ways, which is cool. Valve is using Gamescope instead of Kwin on the Steam Deck. I find that hard to believe in. What's Gamescope? Session compositing. I think what's happening is that this is probably used when you're inside of the actual console, when there's no KDE Plasma running. But when you connect to a monitor and you start the desktop version of KDE Plasma, I'm pretty sure it uses Kwin. How can I contribute to KDE and Linux in general if I don't really know any good level programming right now? Just started with the basics. You can still continue your learning experience, of course, but you can also contribute in non-technical ways, such as, promotion, just to cite one, like writing articles, change logs, stuff like that. It doesn't require technical skills, but it's still needed, so that could be a way to join. What's your new computer? It's an XPS 139310 Developer Edition, so Ubuntu pre-installed. What do you think is the most innovative thing that KDE is doing right now? That KDE is doing something that KDE is doing of innovating. I mean, if you asked something that KDE has, well, I would surely answer the whole applets idea, which is something that only KDE has really, and is so cool. But that is something that is actually working on currently. I don't know, there's no great revolution coming, but there's lots of refinement. Maybe Plasma Mobile, depending on how it ends. If it ends well and people start using it, then surely very innovative. But I don't know. I think that right now KDE is in a refinement phase, which is correct in my opinion. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Improve the documentation. Yes, that's a start. That's a possibility. If you go into the Get Involved page, there's lots of stuff. Issue reporting, bug triaging, translation, design, documentation, user support, promotion, web design, accessibility, management, lots of stuff you can do, even if you don't know how to code. There was an announcement to revive the Oxygen Plasma theme, perhaps around last year or so, but heard nothing since, no anything. So it wasn't actually from KDE. I mean, maybe it was from KDE, but it was from like the Oxygen original designer came back and tried to do something. It was never like something meant to replace Breeze, but it was nonetheless a very interesting project. I haven't heard anything about that either, but let's check Instagram. Usually the updates of that person are on Instagram, so yes, please let me log in. What was it again? Vejero? Let me see if I can remember my own password. Oh yes, that's me. No, actually it's the wrong one. No, maybe it's right. Hello? Okay, this is me. Let me search for pin this one. So let me see, this is the latest post. Not about Oxygen. This one had to change the colors to red as all the blue icons becomes boring. This is from 28 weeks ago, so okay, a bit of time ago. This icon is from 28 weeks ago. Okay, looks like the last update is from 28 weeks ago. Now we know. What's your preferred shell? As in Bash, ZSH, fish. Right now I'm using Bash, but it's not because I prefer it, it's just I haven't tried out the alternatives. Bash is good enough for me right now. Maybe I will try something different in the future, but right now I don't feel the need to. How long have you been using KDE? How long? Let me try to, I started using it when I went into vacations in Croatia. And that was when I actually had, it was years ago. It is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago at least. 5 maybe? 5, 6 years ago. What's your GNOME App Store experience? I've never used GNOME App Store, I just use the terminal. Sorry. How long have you been KDE developer? 1, 2, 3, 4 years. 3.5. 3.5 years, yeah. Almost 4. Which distro do you use for KDE? And also in one of your videos, I saw a widget showing power usage on the taskbar. Okay. For KDE, I use Neon because I need to develop, but if you're not a developer, maybe you shouldn't use Neon. That's up to you. And the widget was Power Monitor. Actually, it's called Power Monitor. You can find it in the store. So what else? Why do this stream lasts more than 9 seconds? Because I finally got the setup right. Yeah, sorry, I keep doing like 9-second streams because I mess up, but this time it works. Let's get married. And I'm afraid I'll have to refuse this one. I'm sorry because I'm already promised another girl, so you know. Do you get paid for being a KDE developer or completely voluntary? It's completely voluntary actually. And the only way I receive money is by donations to this channel. So if you feel like giving me a donation, there's links on all of my videos except this one. You can go into like Patreon and search for Nicolove or Vigero. You should find me. So yeah, I'm completely a volunteer as far as KDE goes. What's the biggest element KDE should get inspired from GNOME? Apart from gestures, which I've mentioned already way too much times, I would say having a good workflow that is clear to the user and making sure that everything works for that certain workflow. A lot of people hate on GNOME, saying that they make the user use their workflow. That's not really the point, though. GNOME has this workflow, and it's a workflow. If you don't like it, well, you don't have to use GNOME. GNOME is made for this particular workflow. And because of that, GNOME is optimized for it and really works nicely. If you don't like it, there are other projects you can use. So, yeah. Why do you think that GTK desktops don't support KDE app theming like KDE does GTK themes? KDE is the best for theming GTK apps. GTK desktops don't support KDE themes. It's because KDE, Plasma, and GNOME have completely different philosophies. Again, the GNOME philosophy revolves more around GNOME that KDE, compared to like KDE philosophy rotates around KDE Plasma. KDE Plasma tries to make sure that even third-party apps are consistent as a goal. GNOME doesn't have that goal. It's a different philosophy. Personally, I would prefer if they did try, but I understand their point. But personally, I would suggest them to improve the support for KDE applications, yeah. I do not have a Twitch channel. Should I have one? I honestly like the YouTube one. I don't see like why to move all the people to another platform. I'm not that big, so I need to build up on what I already have. I would probably do much less views in Twitch. Have you looked at how the GNOME 42 application are doing? Not yet. I decided to be a user. I'm using GNOME as a user, not as a developer, so I'm not trying out the very latest stuff. That's a choice I did. How many time it requires to KDE to reach elementary OS gesture level? I don't know. Nobody knows. Depends on, if you want to pay for it, well, then I'm sure we could do it in less than a couple of months. But you would have to pay for a full-time developer, maybe 2. So yeah, that's up to you. Stream on both. But that would separate the user base. I like comments, and I wouldn't be able to catch up on comments on both YouTube and Twitch. How to learn Qt development so I can contribute to KDE? You can Qt development, just start contributing to KDE and you will learn Qt. That's what I did. I think it works better. QML is pretty easy. You start off with that and then you slowly get into Qt-Ends. Then how much does it cost to marry you? I'm sorry, but I told you I'm already promised to another. So, sorry, there's no amount of money that would change my mind. I've tried Linux in a virtual machine. It's not as easy as Windows. Could be. Depends on what you use. If you use GNOME, to say that it's not as easy as Windows, it would feel weird to me. I think it is as easy. KDE Plasma, I could see the point of people saying it's more complex, but by default, it's usable, more than usable. I don't think that Windows is significantly simpler compared to either. Can you move your chat window up a bit? Yes, sorry. I forgot that I have a tall monitor. This works better, right? Sorry. Why not Qtfish DE? I've done a video called Stop Recommending Qtfish Desktop. You can see that one. Long story short, it's not ready. Just like my shell. Cool idea, not ready. Is there an easy way to get the GNOME workflow while using Plasma? Wait, Prince Cooper, okay, I've seen your comment, calm down. I've just seen now that you posted it like 10 times. Wait, I was saying, is there an easy way to get the GNOME workflow while using Plasma? An easy way, you have to install some extensions, do a bit of changing the panels. I would say there's no easy way, but it's surely possible if you want to put some effort in that. You can move panel to the top, remove task manager, center align the clock. I install the extension to add the virtual desktops when one is busy. Remove the minimize button. I don't know what else. Any laptop manufacturers who's going to consider Linux with Plasma in the future, like Kd's Slimbook. Laptop, probably the Pine books are using Kd Plasma by default. Except for that, I don't know of any right now. But you can use Kd Plasma on many. We should have like this info on our webpage. Buy a device with Plasma. Okay, there's the PinePhone, there's the Slimbook, and then there's the Kubuntu Focus M2, right? There's the Pinebook Pro, and the Slimbook. You can customize it so that there's Kd Plasma, Starlabs, Tuxedo. Yeah. Switch to Manjaro KDE for 1 month. No. I'm using Ubuntu Gnome because that's the default. The experience wouldn't change significantly, so that's what I'm going to stick with. How is Angelfish going? I haven't followed the development. It's probably not ready yet for being a full-fledged desktop app, but it's being developed, so that's good news. How's GTK compared to Qt in your opinion? GTK is different. It doesn't have the same ambitions of Qt. Qt is meant to be like multi-platforms, work well everywhere, and to be used for both open source and commercial projects. GTK is different. It doesn't try to achieve that. What else? You should use Fedora if you want to experience GNOME as planned by the developers. Or I can just use Ubuntu and turn off the extensions. Look, this is GNOME. And if this isn't GNOME, it's because I wanted it to change. I've chosen my extensions, and this is as vanilla as it gets. Of course, with some changes, because I have installed some extensions. No need to shame Ubuntu. I'm not ignoring you, Nekilik. I'm just trying to read a lot of messages, and it's not easy to catch up. What else? I would really like to see an animated series or a visual novel centered on Conky, Gandalf, and Kitty characters. Can we have one, please? If you know any, artist that's interested in working on one, why not? But we actually need some artists to do it. Is there a way of making KDE apps with Rust? Yes. As an example, there is one KDE app that uses Rust, and it's called Icona. Let me show you. KDE invent Icona. Rust. Check it out. What do you think of the performance of GNOME compared to KDE? My impression is that right now GNOME is less performant compared to KDE. That's my impression. I do think that it sometimes skips frame, especially on this animation here, when Plasma wouldn't. But I remember the first time I tried Linux, my first desktop was Unity, but I didn't like it, so I switched to GNOME. GNOME was my second desktop, but it actually lost too many frames on my computer, and that's the reason I switched to Plasma. Like, seriously, I switched to Plasma because of performance. But since then, GNOME has improved a lot. I just think that Plasma has also improved and is currently leading this imaginary speed tournament. Your opinion on Asahi Linux Foundation trying to bring Linux to Mac M1? Let's hope they manage to. What can I say? That's a cool thing to ask for. Have you ever tried using Cinnamon? No, never. It's not the kind of desktop that I would like, personally. So yeah, I prefer like to stick to, I don't know, KDE Plasma, GNOME, maybe Elementary OS, maybe Zorian OS, those kind of things. How is the panel project treating you? Not well at all. I'm going crazy. You should see me when I'm talking to the other KDE developers when I'm developing the Plasma panel. I'm just going crazy. It's mad. When is the last time you've used Windows or Mac? Last time I used seriously Windows or Mac is when just before I stopped using them and switched to Linux, which was around 6 years ago, as I said before. You might be losing some frame rates because of my Blur Meshell extension. Could be. That could be. I would be a bit weirded out because the blur is actually not applied live. It's a static image of the background blurred. So in theory, it shouldn't have any significant performance impact, but you never know. Kdconnect for iOS, it's almost there. I think it's beta already and you can try it out. Why pinch to zoom gesture not available in KDE? Because it's complex to implement given Qt current state. I think that there's a lot of work going in that direction. Hopefully soon we'll have it, but will there be a floating panel in KDE 6? Sooner than KDE 6. Watch my video about KDE 6, please. How to make Thunar transparent on KDE? Give up. I don't know of any way that would make Thunar transparent. Qt has good bindings mainly with C++ and Python. Yeah, you also showed a Qt app using Rust. Why there are a few languages binding with the Q compared to GTK? GTK is also getting Kotlin binding pretty soon. I don't know, you're asking me too much, but Qt has bindings for C++, Python, Rust, and I don't know, whatever other people implement. My point is I don't mind GNOME as a project, but I'm against them for a few prominent people from Foundation attacked Stallman for returning to FSF. Well, you're not going to like KDE either, because the statement from KDE was pretty made sense, but I am going personally to say that I was also extremely unhappy with the decision of letting Stallman back in. I was extremely unhappy. Stallman behavior is not acceptable in the context of being a significant representative of the Free Software Foundation. Your top 5 distros. Top 5 distro: Ubuntu, Neon, Fedora, OpenSUSE, Manjaro. Manjaro is a bit controversial, but after all, it's there, it's good, so I don't know. Is there any gesture touchpad support for KDE? Not. There's no good touch gestures support. Hopefully it's coming. So hopefully. Can you use KDE completely without the mouse? Well, we try to make sure it's possible. It's probably possible. You should. I could do a video about that. You know what? I will do a video about that. I will talk about it. What's the version of GNOME you're using? 40. I'm using GNOME 40. Where are you from? Italy. I'm from Italy. I'm sorry, Nekilik, I talk about Qt and you don't know what it is. Qt is the framework that Kde uses to actually paint anything on the screen and much more. But basically, it paints stuff on the screen. You can say, draw me a button, and Qt actually draws the button. And another couple of things. Let's not get into the details. But the idea is that Qt is not made by Kde, it's a different company, and it's actually a commercial company. And Kde uses that product to actually, draw things on the screen. Is there a chance you will develop for GNOME? I don't think so because of time reasons, but who knows? Probably not, but who knows? What's your opinion on Deepin? Deepin, I've done a try video about it. If you're interested in my opinions, you can search for Nikolov Deepin King of Design video. It has some significant flaws. Out of all the desktops I tried, Deepin had the most significant flaws, so check it out. Did you wipe out your previous Neon installation? No, it's still on the other computer in my, there's a place where I keep all the computers. I'm a Japanese student and sometimes it's difficult to set up Asian inputs. Sorry for my English. Input methods on Kde except on Manjaro that has Asian support package. Can it be improved in the future? Unluckily, I'm not at all an expert on these things. Accessibility in general, this I'm pretty sure is within accessibility, should be improved. I don't know if it's something that Kde, this particular thing is something that falls underneath Kde competence. If so, open a bug request. That's unluckily the best I can offer you, sorry. I'm Italian, yes, from Genova in Italian. What else? Sorry. Have you ever used a tiling window manager? No, I don't like tiling window managers. I've used tiling within Kde, but tiling window managers, no, too much. What's your opinion on Cutefish OS? Interesting project, but it's not ready yet, and we'll have to see how it develops. Right now, I don't see any reason to actually use it as a main desktop for now, because it's not ready. I'm losing my voice, sorry. What is better, GNOME on Qt or Kde on JDK? What does that mean? GNOME on Qt? I mean, I can answer the opposite. Is it better Qt on GNOME or JDK on Kde? I can safely say that JDK on Kde works better than Qt on GNOME because KDE supports JDK themes better. Speaking about Qt, do you think it unfairly gets a bad reputation? Right now, yes. Maybe in the future that will change, but right now there's no significant reason to be worried about them. They're trying to make money, they're trying to pay their developers, I can understand that. Right now there's a working group dedicated to relationships between Kde and Qt. And they're releasing all of the versions as open source, so yeah, all good. What's your experience with Plasma Mobile? Well, the issue there is that I just love Android. I really like Android. I think it's a great operative system, but so it's a bit tough for me to use Plasma Mobile as a mainly driver. Still, sooner or later, I will try it out. What's this? Never heard of this project. I don't know what it does, honestly. The web page is slightly confusing. Italian. Okay, interesting. I shouldn't. I don't know. Is Qt bloated? No, it's not. Qt is fantastic. Qt company just makes word decisions. It's a way to put it. Yeah. You could work on Qt support on GNOME. Well, for that to happen, I would need to know GNOME a bit better, I guess, but also GNOME developers would want me to work on Qt support on GNOME, obviously. Because if GNOME thinks that supporting Qt themes or on GNOME is not a feature they are interested in, well, then it doesn't make sense to actually try to implement it. Mm-hmm. Wow, the buttons doesn't do anything. Thank you, I guess. Why using Google Chrome? I'm using Google Chrome. I usually use Firefox, sorry. This time I'm just using Google Chrome because I don't even remember. Habit, I guess. Like sometimes I open Chrome, sometimes Firefox. Most of the time I'm using Firefox. I prefer Firefox, obviously. Have you ever used a browser? Yes. If any big company like Microsoft to acquire KDE community, would you be okay with it? That would never happen. That would never happen. I can safely tell you that. KDE is meant to be independent. I wouldn't be okay personally, but that there's no way it could happen. You can be sure of that. Panels on KDE Wayland are super buggy. I'm working on rewriting everything, so I know I'm working on it. What do you think of open source? It's good. We should do it more. Please don't ban me. I'm just joking. You're lucky that the button doesn't work. You're lucky that the button doesn't work. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah. Have you ever played SuperTux? I'm translating into English the Italian question, so please use English. Yes, I've used SuperTux. As a child, it was one of the games I played a lot, and it was really funny. I liked SuperTux. But it's been years. I was a kid when I used SuperTux. What else? I didn't know there was a controversy between Manjaro and KDE. What is the controversy? Manjaro does a lot of things wrong, sadly. Basically, as a start, there's all of the controversy between Arc repos being used from Manjaro, and then Manjaro also does a lot of things with money, and the money that Manjaro gets are not truly clear. It's not really clear where they go. They don't go to Arc, and sometimes there's some scandal about people buying personal things with the money, which shouldn't happen in theory. So they also messed up in the past, like the certificate something. So those kind of things. What games do you play? What games do I play? Mist to Riven. I play this game. So cool. Recommended. One of the coolest game. It's very old, but you can find it on Steam. I also play a lot of Kerbal Space Program. Also a very cool game. I spent probably my childhood on Kerbal Space Program. But I also love, what's the name again? Cave Story. And I don't know, probably much more stuff that I'm forgetting about. Is there any Keyrunner YouTuber like you? Not that I know of. Keyrunner is a bit specific for being a YouTuber about Keyrunner, but not that I know of. Hype for Kerbal Space Program 2. Yeah, let's hope they finish it early. Play chess. Sorry. Yes, I play chess. A lot of it. I'm on chess. My username is Nikolov. My password is cat 1 2 3 and play a lot of chess. By the way, are they playing right now? Carson, are you winning? No, that draw right now. Okay, I do play chess, so if you want to challenge me, name is Nikolave. If you do it right now, I can play live, but let's answer questions first. Is there any Breeze launcher or theme for Android? Nope, sorry, nothing like that. Chess stream when? Well, I did one video about chess and nobody watched it, so almost nobody. So that's on you. If you watched more of my chess content, I would do more chess videos. Why is the Kvantum manager not integrated into system settings? Because Kvantum is a third-party project that doesn't try to integrate into settings and that acts a lot of things, so yeah. Do you like Bill Gates? Cool guy. What do you think about the new System 76 desktop? Well, until we don't see it, there's not much I can say. When it's actually there, then we can talk about it. No, the challenge disappeared. Somebody had challenged me, but now it's gone. Sad. A chess stream is much more fun than a chess video. Maybe one day I'll do a chess stream. If somebody like challenges me, I can try, but Baby Vogue seemed to make fun of everything equally. No, Baby Vogue makes fun of Plasma much more. Let's try. Come on. If you all disappear right now, I'm gonna be a bit disappointed. Really? Really? I choose an opening I don't know. That was a terrible idea. Oh, yeah. Right. Let's go here. I'm already probably like -1. I'm totally -1, at least. Nice, I messed up. Knight here, knight here. The queen there? Can I defend that piece? I'm castling check. Okay, it's probably fine. It's much more stable to have. But then it could try to hit me with the pawn. See, I saw that. And now that is trouble. I need to take the knight, otherwise I would be dead lost. I'm probably dead lost already. I'm totally dead lost. Okay, I messed up. I'm just down a pawn though. Let me see. The pawn is hanging. I don't think I'll get the time to actually catch it though. Let me see. Are you all going away? 4 challenges. That's a bit too much for me, but we can do more chess later. Okay, queen back. Defending the pawn. How do I attack now? Well, first of all this. I need to take control of the file. Then that's good. Should I attack the pawn? Probably not. The bishop is a bit loose. My movement is really restricted. Wow, I'm in a horrible situation. Let's open things up. stream sniping is a thing, right? So I can't say what my plan is. Did I just hang that pawn? I did. Then no, I actually hung 2. That's pretty bad. Oops. Sorry about that. I will get back to KD, talking about KD after this game, so don't go away. I'm gonna talk about KD in less than 6 minutes. So if you want to still watch my KD games, KD stuff, wait for 6 minutes and then come back. It can't take the pawn though. Okay, let's get rid of this immediately. Oh, but he messed up. He hung the pawn, right? I should probably take it. I give him a pass pawn though. But I'm so claustrophobic otherwise. Maybe if I attack both pieces. Why not? If nothing is hanging, why not? I'm just 1 pawn down. Okay, what now? What's the plan? Take the pawn? No, attack my knight. That makes sense though. And also protects the bishop. Should I fork? If I do that, and it does that, and I do that, it's probably a mistake. Ah no, it's complete mistake, sorry. That, yeah. Let's go back. And then he takes the pawn, right? What else would he'd be looking for? It still lacks a pass pawn, so okay. I'm a fetch this then. If you give me a free pawn, I'm gonna take it. You have to take back, right? No, you haven't. No, you haven't, actually. And this is a bit of an issue, isn't it? I can go... Where should I go? What if, though... Ooh, I have this. Wait a second, I have this. He messed up, right? That's a strong move, it should be. Now if he takes, I take with check, so I'm up. I forgot about that, but now I can just escape, right? I'm up a knight. Down 2 pawns, but up a knight. Wanna trade queens? Do you want to trade queens? Ah, but he wins material. He wins bad quality. Oops. Oops. Oh. And still a piece up. Who is he playing with? Yeah, it's a completely random person. One minute, we need to speed up a bit. Okay, I'm not that lost. I'm trying to repeat myself that. Yes, should I go forward or backwards? There, my poor, here. And then, if needed, I can protect the pawn with a rook. If he leaves the file, then yeah, lacking a rook is annoying. Yeah. I figured they would play that. It's very annoying to not have... Is he gonna go down with the other rook too? He could. He could also hang the pawn. Please give me another pawn. Oh, he did. He did. That's hanging, right? No, it's actually not. It's actually not hanging. I can't take it. Inconvenient. Mildly inconvenient. Let's go back. Now I can actually close the file for good. One of them at least. By doing like this. Okay. Now I'm happier. No, actually, I might have just messed up. I did. Oops. Sorry. I didn't mean to. What now? I mean, what can I do, really? I need to take the pawn at least. What about... fuck it. Take that. Take it. It's yours. Now I'm in serious trouble. Serious trouble. Extremely serious. No, this is completely lost. Completely lost. I tried. Let's get back to KDE. Yeah, I messed up so badly. But I was a piece up, so yeah. Do you have any KDE questions? You need to stream chess every week. Would you actually watch it though? Are you interested in chess? What's the time? 16, what's the time? So I just played 1 hour into the stream. I can check the analytics to see if people logged out during this. Hello, have you seen how libadwaita works nowadays? Not really though. I haven't followed much the question, especially because it's a GNOME thing. Being a KDE developer, not always I'm in the mood for following everything that GNOME does. It's a bit weird what they did. A bit weird. Maybe I don't fully agree with it, but maybe I just don't understand it. So I should investigate more. Winner, show yourself in the chat. Yes, please. Who did I just lost to? Was it rated? It wasn't, right? Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't lose any point. I'm interested in watching chess streams. Thank you. You're going to get a Steam Deck? Probably not because of money. If I receive a lot of donations and ad revenue from this channel, I might be buying one, so just to review it. But with my current earnings, I just can't, I can't afford it. That's as easy as that. When we'll get auto-rotate feature for KDE for 2-in-1 laptops? Yeah, we lack that feature. I think it's actually there already. You have to manually enable it. Sorry, we do have that feature. You need to go into screen settings and then do auto-rotate even if you're not into tablet mode. That's what you should do. As a beginner with GNOME, do you think blur should be a part of the default user experience? Yes, I do think that blur should be a part of the default user experience, but it should be well done. It's not easy to do blur well. I think that Blur Meshal does it correctly because it doesn't do any live blurring, so it's not any performance issue. But it's also pretty, it doesn't get in the way. It's a good way to do it. Personally, I would implement Blur My Shell in GNOME by default. That's my take on it. I understand that GNOME developers might disagree. Kd distro dev here. I live and breathe Kd for life. I have my own distro out. So when will open as root made public? Probably in the next framework release. I don't remember the exact day, but check out for the next framework release. Thanks, I'm the maintainer. Oh, happy to have you here. Good job, I like it. I'm very happy with it. Can blur be possible with just one of two layers? I'm not sure what you mean. Blur is always possible. It's just a matter of how you do it. What's your thoughts on LXQT? I wouldn't personally use it. It's not my kind of things, but maybe other people like it. I don't know. Never used it. GNOME devs thinks it's bad for contrast. There was a discussion. Could be. Personally, I disagree, but contrast is a fair point. There's a lot of discuss, and I'm not a GNOME developer, so it's up to them. We in KDE do use a bit of blur by default. I think it's a nice touch. Blur My Shell is so great. Yeah, indeed. I'm gonna do a bit more stream, but I need to do a small pause because it's as simple as I need to go to the bathroom. Bathroom break. Back in 2 minutes. I'll be back. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm back. Bathroom live. No, you won't get a bathroom live. Sound left on. Yes, but there's nobody here, so yeah. 2 minutes. Done yet? Yes, I'm done. I'm back. So why is he using GNOME? Well, why not? I wanted to try out. I was challenged to try it out, actually. My bathroom is literally in another house, so yeah. When will Angelfish browser come to the desktop? If you mean by default, probably never, because Firefox is really good and it's what most people want. You can use Angelfish already on the desktop, so there's that. How did you get that nice blur effect? How did you get that nice blur effect on the top panel? Blur My Shell extension. go get the Blur Meshal extension. Are you using the default Adwaita theme? I'm using a theme? Don't know which one. You tell me, which theme is this? I don't know. Not a GNOME expert. Do you use GNOME to develop Kde? No, I actually use Kde to develop Kde. Even these days when I have to do some Kde development work, I still switch to my Kde Plasma session because otherwise I wouldn't even be able to test changes. So yeah. Why do GNOME devs frown upon using extensions? Do they? They have a nice store with all of the extensions, so I don't think they frowned upon using them. Ubuntu theme is called Yarrow. Yes, I'm probably using Yarrow. I can change it later. Don't know. Yeah, it's Ubuntu. That's because Ubuntu was the default. I'm using Ubuntu because it was the default on this computer. I made an Italian copypasta about GNOME. Can I post it somewhere without getting banned? I don't know. I'm not banning anyone. You can try sending it to me. I don't know. I'm sadly unable to ban anyone, even if I wanted to. So, yeah. Where to get Anglefish browser desktop version? I can't find it. You build Anglefish you build it from source, and then it should be by default desktop version when you're using it on a desktop. How's battery life? Pretty good, actually. Right, I use it with like top brightness all the time, so it's not that long, but it's because of me. With a decent amount of brightness, like this one is what most laptops have. It probably goes for 10 to 12 hours, which I think is good. So yeah. Do you have Discord? Yes, but I don't use it much, like almost nothing. I didn't even log in here. Are you planning on developing for GNOME as well? Sadly not right now, but simply because of time reasons. I would like to, but it's very difficult to do all of the videos in my channel and also develop for Kde. And I actually also have a page for poetry, Italian poetry, and I also need to write poetry. That takes a lot of time. Did System 76 gift you the laptop? No, it's a Dell XPS, so I wasn't gifted by anyone. Yep. The Just Perfection extension. Let's Google it. Why not? I like the idea of learning about new extensions. GNOME. What does it do? A lot of stuff. So you can like disable your elements. Ah, that's cool. I will try it out later on. Burn my window is a bit more than what I like. It's a bit excessive for me. There was a hype about mouse delay improvements on GNOME. Does Kde have similar problems? Not that I'm aware of. I've never heard about Kde mouse delay issues. So yeah. What's your opinion on having major apps having both Qt and JDK implementation rather than supporting each other? I think it's cool that if you're able to, you have multiple front ends, because that would mean that your app will be consistent with a theme regardless of where it's used. It's a significant additional burden in terms of, actually developing the app. But if you're able to, I think it's cool. Yeah, burn my window. I'm a bit of a more simple person, let's say. Comp is, yeah. The comp is days. What are your thoughts on Matrix? I don't use it much. It seems to me like a good project. Sorry. Yeah, it's. I use it for KDE stuff mostly. Can you share the link of the wallpaper? Okay, hear me out. A lot of people ask me. You go into Google and you search for Porco Rosso wallpaper, Porco Rosso. And then one of the very first results is this one. And then you go into here and you download it. This is Fio from Porco Rosso. Now you know. Go see the film. How can we make apps more compatible between desktops? Tough one. Because there's no clear way, sadly. I would like that we tried as a Linux community to focus more on these things, but sadly this is not the case. If you want to do something that's more related to Plasma, then you should use like Origami or Qt. If it's for like GNOME, GTK is the way to go. Depends on what you're building for, sadly. Any advice for starting developers? Don't be afraid to do things that look stupid. Like if you're debugging something and to debug that, you start writing print everywhere in the code with stupid like print hello, print stuff. It's normal. Don't be scared of doing things that seem to be stupid, because sometimes, most of the time, they aren't. Can you talk some Italian for me, please? I'll just say a poem, an Italian poem I wrote. In Italian, it almost doesn't make any sense in Italian, but it's actually Italian. Parcheggio quel, parcheggio che mi ingiacco, perché gela, poi c'è che legge, la che gioca per ciascheggio, che la beccia, la peggio già con la giugolare in brodo di giugio, le giungole, la giungla di giostre, con le giuste tizie, c'ho amicizie che ci si è già dati pezzi che notizie, già dati... That was Italian. An Italian poem. What do you think of snaps? I don't fully agree with the idea of snaps. Italian rap, yeah. Because, I don't know. I don't like the server side to be as closed as it is. So, not a fan. Well, rap is poetry. Like, okay, I've got other poems that are more poems than rap, but rap is a form of poetry. I would like to be a rapper one day, but I mostly write poetry. And poetry is a larger superset of rap. Like, there's rap, there's poetry, which is larger. And I do some things that seem to be rap, like that, but I also do things that are poetry and not rap. It all depends on how marked you follow the beat. Like, if you think about now, the question is, how many accents do you make that fall on a repetitive beat? And if that keeps on changing over time, then it's more about poetry. But if it's stable, perché gioco perché gioca mi gioco perché gela poi c'è che lei gialla che gioca. If it's stable, then it's not very it sounds like rap. Would you mind sharing your Spotify? I don't have a Spotify. I just right now my poems are on TikTok. What's the link even? TikTok.com/Nikolove. Is that how they do things? Log in. It's me. It's Google. Log in with Google, please. Sorry, I know this is completely off topic compared to like profile, compared to KDE, but this is me, and I do more than just. So it's actually tiktok.com/@Nikolov's and there's my poems. Like that. Ci ha messo troppo a pensarci prima di sporgere denuncia, è stata lenta. What else? I like the minimalism of GNOME, but sometimes it's too minimal. Well, the issue is that it's so hard to actually get minimalism right for everyone, because all people have a different idea. Like each person has a different idea of what minimalism is. Like I would personally say that for my minimalism, being able to rearrange desktops in here is necessary. Other people would disagree. At the end, you need to make a decision. And if you decide to be minimalistic about your features, you will disappoint someone. That's for sure. That's for granted. Even if you're like Kde and you remove one feature that surely nobody's using, somebody will come up and scream to you. That's normal. So if GNOME is minimalistic with features, and it is, then people will be disappointed. That's a given. It's not necessarily like a bad idea. Could you rap about me? Actually, the process of writing rap takes a lot of time. You go there, you study the accents, the flow, and you need to do all the rhyme schemes. It takes a lot of time. You can't just like improvise. I should make hip hop tracks. Yeah, I want to. Like, that's my end goal. But it's hard because I've grown up writing poetry. I love rap. I would like to start rapping, but I'm more used to poetry and the ideas behind poetry. So it's difficult to switch from one to another. That said, I will surely try. And whenever I hear a cool beat, my first instinct is sing something over it. It's called freestyle. Yeah. So a lot of freestyle that you see on YouTube coming from big rappers is not actually freestyle. It's either just straight up written before, like Fedora, an Italian singer, did this song called Freestyle. It's not freestyle. It's clearly written before. And sometimes if you're a rapper and you come from certain like environments and you write a lot of rap, then you're used to rhyme because you've already written a lot of rhyming, and then you already know which words rhymes with each, so it's easier to. But all of that requires some advanced work, some work done before being actually able to improvise. Surely you can improvise, but it's not going to sound any good if you don't have a serious experience of like doing like a preparement work before. And if you go see like freestyle competitions, the first minute is good, and then it's so bad. Like same flow, same rhymes. Most of the times they're not even rhymes, they're like assonance. Freestyle is not a thing you can just do and expect the result to be good, in my opinion. You have to sit down, prepare yourself, and then you do it. Even like Eminem did this freestyle thingy, also talking against Trump. I do not believe, like, I can believe it from Eminem because he's Eminem and all he does is write rhymes. But if it was anyone else, that's not something you can achieve easily at all. Do you publish your poems in written form? So if you're interested in my poems in written forms, you go into my website and you go into the poetry section, which is this one, and there's a lot of poems. To be honest, I'm pretty bad with choosing which poem to show. I need to change this page. There's also Nicola.venerandi. As said, nicola.venerandi.com, sorry. And then you go into poetry, and then there's, you take, I don't know, the last one. Non sono poesie, no, the first one. And then you actually have a PDF. This is from 1 year ago about Yeah, here is where I put my points, but it's not very updated. I will update it sooner or later. Can you compare Kd to GNOME? It's completely different. It has different philosophies. So the general idea of Kd Plasma is the desktop trying to actively help you in what you're doing. So if you don't like something of your desktop, then the desktop should like step up and try to be better to actually improve your workflow as much as possible. Whereas GNOME tries to get out of the way and let you be productive. There are completely different mindsets and they generate different things. So sometimes people using GNOME, they have this feeling that GNOME is trying to get away from them. Like things that they want to do are not implemented because the workflow is different, because GNOME wants to get out of the way and let the user be productive. But if the user isn't used to it, that will feel weird to him, just like if the user is used to the desktop staying out of the way in Plasma, sometimes it's going to be weird because, I don't know, like first startup, the Plasma actually asks you to install Plasma integration for a good reason, but some people might be annoyed from that. So different mindsets. I'm not the maintainer of Kdconnect. No. But I don't know right now who's developing the Kdconnect app, but somebody was actually working on improving it. So just want to say that the website is dope.af. Thank you. I worked months to actually implement it. It took me quite a while. It even has like dark mode. And then you just like, now it's broken because Chrome also has dark mode, but in theory it should work. Like if you take a random browser, it works. What's your opinion on smartwatches? Do you think that Kd will have something like Kdconnect but for smartwatches? If there's more Linux smartwatches around, yes. Personally, I would use, like, if I had to get a watch, I would get an analog one. The only reason why I would get a smartwatch is sleep. I need to know how much I sleep and how good I sleep. So that would be useful info that could be collected by a smartwatch, but also payments, like being able to do this and pay. That would be so cool. Currently I use my phone. So yeah, if the smartwatch Linux environment is more, right now there aren't many Linux smartwatches. If there were more, probably there would be something like Kdconnect for smartwatches. More chess. 5 minutes and I'll get more chess. Okay? Because 5 minutes and I would stop the live anyway because it's more than 1 hour and 50 minutes, but I'll do some chess before ending it. Have you used Gcomprix? Yes, I know it's a Kd project. Of course I know it's a Kd project. You don't have to tell me. Just kidding. I've used it. I've used the typing thingy to check if I was fast enough, and I was. Sadly, there's no grown-up adult difficulty level. I wish there was. And I've actually made my sister use it to study multiplication table. It's a nice app, very nice. Do you think GNOME top bar is too minimal in regards to what Plasma offers with Latte and regular dock? Okay, there are two different things. Latte is the complete extreme. I heard something doing papa. What was that? Did I receive messages? Sorry. Latte is like one extreme. It has everything. Like everything you could ever think of. On the other hand, GNOME is minimal. I don't think it's too minimal. It's GNOME. I don't know how to say it. I would like for, I don't know, a couple of more buttons, but overall, it works with the workflow. With a workflow that GNOME has, the top bar makes sense. Can you write a poem with code? That's interesting, and yes, I've done it in the past. I've actually done a Python script where all the variables names rhyme. That's my phone, yes, that's my phone. Sorry, I kept hearing this noise. My phone is. 2 hours since I started recording. Can you write a poem? Yes, I did this poem where I was rhyming words with the keywords of the Python language. But there's also like a book which is called Poetry Code, I think, which does that. Cool stuff. What do you think of GNOME software RAM leak not being fixed for years? When you have something like a RAM leak that isn't fixed for years, it means that it's very hard to fix. Because when people say stuff like this, it seems like they don't want to fix it, which is obviously not the case. If you've got a RAM leak, then you really want to fix it. And if you don't, well, that's because it's hard. And honestly, I never had any issue really with memory, especially because I switched to a 16 gigs laptop, I guess, but I don't know, I never had leaks, so. How did your exam go? So I did a couple of them. The first one was good, okay, 29 out of 30. Second one, 21, but it also like, I can do an oral tomorrow, no, the day after tomorrow, and hopefully I will bring the score up a bit. That RAM leak is damn annoying. I know, but RAM leaks are always annoying. Especially if you can't easily reproduce them. I'm not a GNOME developer. I don't know. How much KDE developers use instrumentation like Valgrind or Azan Ubsan to find bugs in KDE? I've heard let me actually Google that word, sorry. Let me see. No, I never saw people using either, but maybe it's out of my, group of, I don't know all developers. I know some of them, and the one I knew never talked about this too, but so maybe not, but I don't know. What do you think about Cutefish? I've done a video about that. It's called Don't Stop Recommending Cutefish. Go watch it. Can you post a link where I can build Anglefish from? Go into this page, development, find out, you follow all the steps, and then when it's applications, instead of putting dolphin here, you put Anglefish. What time is it? Okay, that's it for KDE. If there's challenges, yes. So I'm gonna do a bit of chess and then that's it. Let's go. If you watched all only for KDE stuff, then you can go now. The Scandinavian, you know about the Scandinavian, damn. Usually people try to defend with horsey and they mess up. Okay, this is standard. This is not standard. I think I have to take, right? Then you take back. And then, what was it again? Let's take it. When in doubt, you take. And I'm safe. I'm out of the opening and I didn't hang anything. Let's activate the pieces. Okay, my queen is not going there. Let's open up this. I know I probably shouldn't. Last time I even hung this piece, but if I don't hang this pawn, then never mind. Never mind. That's pretty bad. I need to take not to lose the knight as well. Sorry about that. I didn't see the rook. He's up a pawn, but it shouldn't be that bad though. Yeah, I'm back to chess, and now I'll just do a bit of chess and then go finish the stream. I hope this was interesting. By the way, you're not seeing the chessboard because of my face, right? Let me make myself smaller. Mildly annoying. Should I trade? No, I shouldn't. No. You're not getting a trade here. I'm taking the open file. Ooh, you really want me to trade. But I'm not doing it. This doesn't look good. This is so passive, very bad. I need to get my bishop out of there. I should have moved the other pawn, get the bishop on A7 instead of there. Oh no, the other rook. Let's close this file. With tempo. Really? Can't I just... Did you hang the... I just can't take it, right? Maybe you can fork? Nah. That's it. I take it. Okay. Rook up. We defend. No, I mean... We go for the win, I meant. We go for the win. We don't defend. And we do that... by trading pieces. I'm still very passive. Okay. I'm take this. I shouldn't taken that. Now it's a mess. Now it's complete mess. Now it's completely a mess. Let's go for... Now it's seriously tough. I might lose a lot of pawns now. Go get the pawns. Let's see if you survive the pawn hunting. Let's see. What now? What do you do? You move the king? What do you do now? What's the plan? You have to move the king, right? Yes. You moved the king. And now I'm lost. Now I'm very lost. Should I... Which one? I should at least try to keep this one. At least. Oh, you're giving me tempo? I'm gonna do this then. What now? Oh. Oops. Now I'm actually threatening something. Okay. What an active king you have. Would be a shame if I don't know, you hanged the rook. You gave me a free rook and I still managed to mess up, so... Time, 20 seconds. Okay, let's go fetch some pawns. Oops, that was not intended. At least I get a couple of them. What are you doing? Weather. What's the idea? Seems wrong. Another free pawn. And now I can actually protect this. Now I can't, but I can still do this. And now I do this. 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 Now I'm happy. Okay, maybe not. What do I do? This is so bad, right? Yeah, I messed up. Let's go for the draw. This looks drawish. I shouldn't have allowed that. Or that. Or that. Draw by repetition. Okay. Cool one. Cool one. Bullet. Let's do a quick bullet. Can you handle my B4 opening? Come on. Okay, interesting. Okay, very interesting. Actually, this one. Okay. Yes, hanging the bishop is part of the opening. Sounds weird, but it's actually the truth. And now I hang these two, but I didn't notice, so it's fine. No, actually, I messed up badly. This is so bad. Revert, go back. Complete mess. Ooh, ayya. Ouch. Yeah, pretty bad. What can I say? That was terrible of me. Terrible. I'm so bad at bullet. Like, so bad. What? No, you're not supposed to take with the queen. I think. Sure, it's a good diagonal where to keep your queen, but now I'm gonna castle. Is that a free pawn or what? What's the point? Still free up. Why not? Let's take it. How can I not see the queen? Come on. Sorry. Sometimes I play good, sometimes I do this. Check. Okay. Let's try this. Yeah, blocking with a piece I don't think was a good idea. Because the pawn at this point is pretty hard to stop. You can try to create some other troubles, but yeah, this is nothing, is it? I mean, you take back with the bishop, and then it's nothing, really. I'm out of danger. Nah, you don't even take back with the bishop. Okay. It's cold here. Let's put some pressure here. Probably a good time to castle, if I were you. But your choice. Good choice. Let's take the bishop. Oops. I should have taken the bishop. Nah, sounds fine. Yeah, looks fine. Does it though? Wait, is this checkmate? No, can't be. Seriously? This is checkmate? Wow. Unstoppable checkmate. Good one, good one. I totally didn't see this. This is not rated, right? Casual. Go ahead. Good one. No, sorry, I'm not taking rated matches just because I don't feel like losing points today. I'm not playing correctly, as you can see. I haven't won a single one. I couldn't sack the queen, like... Scandinavian, at least this is my repertoire. What's your rating? Lower, okay. Let's go for the sack another pawn variant. How many people are watching me in this moment? Can you chat, tell me? Thank you for the games. Can you chat to tell me how many people are actually watching this? Going back with the bishop is not a good idea. It loses tempo. I disagree with that move. Oh, yeah, what now though? Are you really going to push another pawn? Really? Where are you going to castle exactly? On the other side? I don't know. Okay. Okay. Oh. Brr. Take it. It's yours. Give me the bishop though. 32. That's a good number. Was that just mate? It's very likely that I missed some mates, but what's the plan? What if we keep, yeah. Now you have to stay at the center of the board. I'm open the center. I'm win this match. Let's go for the win. Let's sack another pawn and go for the win. Really? Did you just hang the bishop? Yeah, looks like so. Okay, this is going fine. Finally. Now my rooks are getting into the game, and this is gonna be an easy game to convert, hopefully. Now you all switch to casual, eh? Okay. What if I sack another pawn? Nah, I'm fine. Is my clock bugged? Now you castle? The audacity. I don't think that's a good idea, honestly. How do you stop me? You don't. You really don't. I could have gone with a knight first, but I don't see a faster way to get in. This should be just as fast. He can't defend a pawn. I mean, technically can, but I still get him, no? No. Oh, really? He survives this? Huh? Where's my attack? I need to get the queen out of there. Let's give in another pawn. Another free pawn. Go fetch the pawn and you'll be 3 pawns up. Go fetch it. Totally for free. Or at least move your queen out of danger. Oh, you actually took the pawn. Okay. Now I gotta really win this attack. Otherwise it's a mess. So Can you get back? Technically speaking, yes. With the queen, I mean. Probably it's better to first go with the rook. So I disallow any movement. Yeah. And then if he comes back there, I don't know. Surprisingly hard to win this one, yes. Let's go here. Ugh. Now, can I exchange? Let's not get mated. If I go there, he takes. Maybe. If I go there, he takes. Check. It's mate. If I go there, he goes back with the queen. He cannot. So there, takes. Check. King h1. Checkmate. No? No? Did I mess up? This is gonna be so funny if I mess up. You want casual? It's casual. Yeah, casual. I'm a Gnome user, but I want to try KDE. What should I suggest you? Try it. I think trying KDE is a good idea. Oh, the other rook. I might take it. I might take it. And then you're defenseless. What are you gonna do? Oh, go back with the queen. Go back with the queen. Ah. No, wrong. No. Should have gone back with the queen. You take with the queen, so you defend the pawn. Now it's checkmate, right? Isn't it? Yeah, I won one. Additional pumpkin. You want revenge? I want revenge. Before. Buy my opening course. Before. All the secrets on how to lose. Okay, this is all in my repertoire. Yes. Yes. And now I'm attack the queen side. Let's go. I am the major hanger of pawns. I shall hang pawns. This is fine though. This is fine though. I don't know what to do. Three plus two is like the best way to. European Xank. Yeah. It's that. Ooh. To be clear, easy win is not referred to the person, it's referred to the match. Sometimes I play with much stronger opponents and they mess up and it's a easy win. Sometimes I mess up with way lower rated opponents and that's how life goes. I'm fine. Do you really want to go into this? Really? Do you think it's a good idea? Let's see. Oh, you take that first. Now that makes sense. You take that first. Well, now it's gonna be fun. Now it's gonna be very fun. I take the bishop, right? That's the only sensible move. Ooh. Ooh, really? Why though? What do you get out of it? Is there some mate? No. Are you sure? Now it's very risky. Your queen is in the wrong spot. I'm up a piece. Okay, and your queen is getting in, except it's not getting in. No. Knight there. You don't have any spot for the queen. No, I'm safe. I'm surprisingly safe. I'm also low on time. Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna go up. Let's remember to defend the bishop. Okay. If I were you want to play with your passed pawn? Is that what you want to do? Okay, you have a couple of threats. And for 1 point of material, it's probably not worth it for me to actually have done what I did. On the other hand, I'm fine. You don't have you don't have like a winning idea. You can't advance the pawn. You can go back with this, I guess, but maybe I can just advance it. No, because then you advance yours and it's bad. Take it. Okay, I need to play this. Should I give back material? No. Okay. And now I need to be careful. Extremely careful. This is +2, right? The increment. Annoying. You're also very safe at this point. Really? I should probably die to get one of your pawns. Totally. Take this, it's free. Almost there. I hung the queen, but yeah, you took with the queen. I thought you were going to take with the rook. What time is it? I have still 5 minutes. I'll take the fastest one. No, time I saw that. I can play with like 10 seconds. I cannot play if I hang up with my queen, obviously. Points? Lower rated, okay. What? That was fast. What's the increment again? 2 plus 3, okay. Go away. Okay, there's nothing for you here, so go away. Now I should probably reroute my knight, or I don't know. What's the plan? What's the plan in this situation? You're stronger there. I would love to reroute there, but you got your bishop, your knight, Let's go here. Okay, so you're not castling. H4, A4, A3 technically. Sorry, H3. But you want to fetch my bishop? Fetch it. I don't know. It's yours. Actually, I'm go here. And if you take, I'm happy. If you do this, I'm less happy. Yeah. Oops. Now you got some pawns. Take it. Make me breathe. Yeah, I did not choose the right plan at all. Yep, but now I go back. Take it. I mean, just take it. What is that any goof for? I probably should take it. I don't see any other. Yeah. Time. This is not the best way. I try to avoid this, but I don't see how. Now we can jump here, and this is interesting at least. I've got some ideas. Not good ones. Oh, you castled there? Uh-oh. Oh no. What now? Let's try to get rid of the pawns, I guess. No, it's a bad idea. Let's try to get rid of the knight. I should have moved the queen first. Yeah. Whoa. Bold. Probably correct though. Or maybe not. Do we want to exchange queens? Probably not. Really? Let's go here, free pawn. Yes, mistake. This is a mistake, right? I was hoping for this. Now we just have to be careful with the time. Slow and steady. And now you're losing all of your pawns. All of them. And I'm super safe. That's very nice. Let's win this. Ah, it was mate. Sorry. Sorry, I'm a bit... I'm misplaying this, but still. Let's take the pawns. Where's the geometry? Give me the right geometry, please. Where is it? Come on. Move somewhere. Wrong. Ah, that's good. Good. This was a nice game. I mean, this was a game that I didn't lose terribly. Thank you. And that was it. Thank you so much for all people still following. Sorry for the chess part, but you know, sometimes it's nice to play a bit of chess. And d4. Yeah, d4 is good. Thank you so much, everyone. It was very nice. I'm sorry I didn't read the comments while playing chess. That would have been nicer, but if you like chess, I can do more. And I'm gonna go now. Sorry for the unanswered questions, but I will do this at least once in a week. So if you're interested, join us next week. And that's it. Thank you, everyone. I'm really happy how this went.